Hey everyone, it is me again talking about money mistakes and how I learned things the hard way. Today, I want to talk about something I heard recently, a thought that really stuck with me. Someone said, and I am paraphrasing here, that everyone has millions trapped inside their computer. They just need to press the right keys to get to it. At first, I just laughed it off. It sounded like one of those motivational slogans that do not really mean anything. But then it hit me. It truly hit me. He was absolutely right. There is potential, real potential. For a business, for significant earnings, perhaps even millions sitting inside your laptop right now. And for most of us, myself included, for a long time, we are using that laptop to make other people rich, to consume endless content, to scroll through other people's lives instead of creating something of our own. This really gets to me because I lived this. I never phrased it as having millions trapped in my laptop, but looking back, it is exactly what happened. I built my net worth, not by being a genius, not by having a fancy office or a big team or startup capital. It was just me, my laptop, Wi-Fi, and a skill I developed. That is it. And I want to break down how you can start to unlock what is already in front of you. Before I dive deeper, a quick note. My free Discord community is live. I am not going to try to sell you on why you should join it. It is free after all, so why would you not? Instead, I will tell you who it is not for. If you are someone who complains about life being hard, who thinks online money is a scam, who believes the only way to succeed is a 9-to-5 job, and that is it, then respectfully, this community is not for you. I have been there in that mindset of scarcity and doubt, and it held me back. I want to build a space where we encourage each other, where we learn from our collective experiences. This Discord is for the 90% of you who I see in my comments who are building businesses, starting to invest, looking for real growth. If you are negative, please do not join. It is not worth your time or mine. But if you like talking about business, money, and life and want to learn from shared experiences, join us. We will have some monthly calls, some chats, and a lot of learning. I hope to see you there. Now, let us get back to the main topic. I want to give you some context, so you are not just walking into this blind. I will share a bit of my own story, but also a striking statistic. In 2024, 60 million people made some kind of money online. This covers everything from freelancing to digital products, content creation, coaching, e-commerce, you name it. And what is the common thread? The single machine that makes it all possible. A laptop, you can run ads, make digital calls, post content. All of this is done online. I used to be stuck in this old way of thinking. I felt like my boss knew everything and my job was the only path. Even though I was working online remotely from my laptop, I still felt constrained. I knew there was online money out there, but I had no idea how to get it, how to tap into it. Then I started working on my own projects, my own little startups, and I realized something crucial. You do not need to be a tech genius. You need a computer, a Wi-Fi connection, and a skill. If you want to really boost your chances, add a clear, quantifiable offer to that. That is all you need to find success in this online world. So let me break it down simply. I have identified 4 paths to making money with your laptop based on my own trials and errors. I want to go deeper into each one with real life examples, not just abstract ideas. Path number 1, sell your knowledge, education, coaching, consulting, everyone. And I mean, everyone has done something that others would pay to learn. It does not matter what it is. Guitar lessons, math tutoring, scaling ads, appointment setting, it really does not matter. You can coach beginners, package your lessons into a digital product, or do one-on-one sessions. Personally, I loved the one-on-one approach in the beginning because it felt more personal, more real. I have heard incredible stories. One person I know, a client, taught English to beginners over Zoom in just 3 months. She was making $5,000 a month, all from her laptop. That is enough money to quit a traditional job. We do not need to aim for $10,000, $20,000, or $50,000 a month right away. Focus on those first few wins. It is surprisingly simple once you get started. I remember when I first thought about this, it seemed impossible, like only experts could do it. But I realized many people are just a few steps behind you, eager to learn what you already know. My early mistakes taught me a lot, and that knowledge, that hard-won experience became something valuable to others. I packaged my understanding of what not to do in investing, and people were genuinely interested. They wanted to avoid the pitfalls I fell into. Path number 2, sell a service. This is freelancing, skill-based work. Learn a skill like copywriting, video editing, content creation, graphic design, email marketing, then start offering it online. This is how so many people, including myself, started. I began by selling appointment setting services and lead generation for a specific niche. If you can define a clear offer, I truly believe this is one of the fastest ways to build wealth. There are so many skills in demand. When I was struggling after losing a lot of money in bad investments, I realized I needed a more direct way to earn. I looked at what I was decent at, what I could learn quickly, and what businesses needed. I learned about digital marketing, not because I loved it, but because it had a clear value proposition. I offered my services even if they were not perfect at first. The key was to start, to learn by doing, and to refine my skills based on client feedback. It was not glamorous, but it was real income. And it built my confidence back up after some serious financial setbacks. Path number 3, sell attention. This is more about content creation and audience building. I would personally combine this with something else, like selling a service or knowledge if you are documenting your journey, creating short-form videos, YouTube content, or a newsletter. These are all forms of content. You can then monetize through sponsorships, affiliate links, or your own digital products. I would advise starting small, just one short video per Dalton Y, building trust, and then offering value. Think of it like Gary V's approach: jab, 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 right hook. I would honestly jab 20 times before even attempting a small hook. Give as much value away for free as you can. Then sell the implementation. This is about building a community around what you do, around your insights, around your experiences, good and bad. My own journey as a content creator started with sharing my investment failures. It was painful to admit them, but I found that my honesty resonated with people who were going through similar struggles or wanted to avoid them. The attention I gained was not from showing off successes, but from transparently discussing my mistakes and what I learned. Path number 4, sell any type of digital product. This is a hot topic right now. Templates, Notion packs, PDFs, Google Docs, courses, Excel spreadsheets. People are making serious money doing this. It is the make it once, sell it forever model. This is why I love it. It is almost like digital real estate. Swipe files, courses, prompts, systems. These are digital assets. I know a guy, I cannot recall his name right now, but he is in the UK and he generates $250,000 in passive income per year, or maybe every other year, just from digital products. It is something to think about for the long term. This path became very appealing to me after realizing the limitations of trading time for money. Creating a digital product, something that could help others based on my experiences, and then selling it repeatedly, seemed like a smart move. It allowed me to scale my impact without constantly needing to be present. Now, this is arguably the most important piece of advice I can give you in this video. You need to shift from being a consumer to being a creator. Most people spend 5, 6, even 8 hours a day consuming on their laptop, scrolling, just letting their brains rot. If you spent even half that time creating value, content, offers, something you could actually bring to someone, that is where you make the most money. Just one of those hours focused on creating your own stuff. You could create 3 or 4 short-form videos or 1 long-form video in that time. All it takes is one swing. And this is what I think many people do not understand. They feel wired to believe they have to go viral. No, you do not. I was lucky with some of my content. And a few other creators in this community also got lucky with viral hits. But you do not have to go viral. Of course, it would be a great boost, but I am not relying on these videos to go viral. If I just get a consistent stream of views, I am more than happy with that. You need to shift your mindset from constantly being a buyer and a consumer. This goes back to fundamental financial principles. This is how people fail to get ahead. This is how people get into debt. They are constantly buying instead of actually selling. Instead of selling their own things or selling their own time or their own products. That is the whole premise. So please, I urge you, do this for the next 60 days. Commit to building, not scrolling. For every hour you consume, spend an hour creating. I am not joking. I try to do this myself, even though I am not perfect at it all the time. But do it. Let me talk about the tools you literally already have. The ones you do not even need to spend money on. This is the craziest part. You have 90% of what you need already. Google Docs, not only good for productivity, but as I said earlier, you can sell a Google Doc if it has enough value packed into it. Canva for visuals, graphic design, lead magnets, content, Zoom for client calls, for closing deals, for webinars, ChatGPT. Now for content ideas, writing help, sales pages, I would say that is one of the most important ones. You could build an entire business just with ChatGPT. Maybe I will make another video on that. And if you want to process your money, get contracts signed, there is Stripe, Gumroad, PandaDoc. These are all free to use. You literally do not need money to start. If you are using money as an excuse to start, then we have a bigger problem here. You are the problem. You need clarity and consistency. You do not need money to start. This is my challenge to you, the 60-day game plan to unlock money, and I do not care if that is your first dollar or $500. It does not matter. This is what I would do if I was starting today with $0 in the bank and I wanted to unlock real cash flow in 60 days. First, pick one. Pick one lane. A skill, a service, a product, I do not care. Sell something, learn to sell something. Learn to communicate with others. Even if it has to be somebody else's product, I do not care. My biggest regret was waiting too long to start selling. I thought I needed all the answers, all the certifications, all the experience. But the truth is, you learn by doing. You learn by putting yourself out there, by getting that initial feedback. Second, package it into an offer, not a resume. Not a website, not some vague description, an actual quantifiable offer, something that clearly states what you provide and the value it delivers. My early attempts at offers were terrible, they were vague, and tried to be everything to everyone. I learned that specificity sells. People need to know exactly what they are getting and how it will help them. Third, reach out every single day. This is what I would be doing until the day I die. DMs, email content, cold calls, all of the above. I do not care. Get in front of people. This is what I did with my own channel. I brute forced my way to get views by doing Reddit DMs. But there are school communities, Discord groups, Facebook communities. There are so many ways to get in front of people, not just with your own channel, but with your own products and offers. I remember the discomfort of reaching out, the fear of rejection, but I had to push through it. My financial recovery depended on it. Every email sent, every message crafted, every conversation initiated was a step towards rebuilding what I had lost. Fourth, get feedback fast, refine your offer weekly if you have to, ask a ton of questions, be like, hey, if I gave this away, would you buy this, or is this just worthy of being a free product? Be honest and ask your potential buyers that exact question. People love talking about their own opinions. Ask them, leverage the hell out of that. My early products were not great, but instead of giving up, I asked people what they thought, where I could improve. Their honest feedback, even when it stung, was invaluable. It helped me iterate and create something truly useful. Fifth, keep score. Track offers, conversations, sales, everything. You do not need a ton of followers. Like I always say, that 1,000 true fans idea, you can even dumb that down further. You need 3 people to pay you $500, or 10 people to pay you 100. That is real income. And that all comes from your laptop. Tracking my progress, seeing the small wins, even after significant losses, was incredibly motivating. It showed me that consistency, not sudden breakthroughs, was the key. So I will end it there. I am not going to go too deep into anything else. If you have made it this far, I hope to see you in the Discord. Comment below with any questions. We will see you in the next one, where I will probably share another story about how I messed up so you do not have to.